everyone, welcome back to Story of Mafia Love Story. The first episode's link you will get in the description box, so please check it out. So apparently he is a mafia. Not only that, he is literally a mafia boss, a Korean mafia boss. I am toasted, I am scared, I am done. Oh my god, Bugam, please come and get me. I don't think I can digest the thought that I am hanging out with a crime boss. Yes, you seem nervous, baby tiger. I thought you are just going to have a meeting with your friend. He had a mischievous smirk right in his handsome face. Yeah, unfortunately, the Korean mafia boss is a god, a Greek god, a Greek Korean god, too handsome to be real. Am I even making any sense? Thanks, POV. As my request of meeting with my friend and signing the documents, he had get me to a cafe. Jungkook was sitting right across the table. He was annoyingly relaxed, and here I am getting scared of his existence. I wish I didn't know. I wish he didn't tell me who he really was. My mind flew right out the window when I realized that he is the very top of the crime list. At least he was nice enough to buy me a coffee paired with strawberry cheesecake. What do you plan on doing with me? Gulping down my fear while asking, I couldn't even have the guts to drink or eat that treat he ordered for me. Eat now, baby tiger. You haven't eaten anything since last night. My name is not baby tiger. Why do you even care if I eat or not? I care cause as I said, he put his elbow on the table and leaned towards me. You are now my boy. I will not enjoy my boy all skinny and bones. You will not be those women or men I come across who would make me feel irritated by thinking I would care if they don't eat. I will not hesitate to do something if I find you unnecessary, pretty boy. His Korean was thick, yet he spoke perfectly English. I swelled an imaginable lump. I just adjusted my seat as if to settle my uncomfortable and anxious self. Can you just let me go, please? Just let me go. I would never forget about the ruined painting, and I promise that I will think that like I never seen you to do any crime to anyone. I pleaded. He clenched. It was mischievous and cunning. And you think that is the reason I am keeping you? He leaned to me even more. Our noses were inches apart. I could see those eyes that reminded me of clear waters. It was never near grey. My hands were inching to draw him and paint him right after the wave of his hair has a specific direction. It was almost cool and looked back, highlighted of brown, could be recognized under the sunlight. He was truly handsome. The moment you walk into the room, you have surrendered your life to me. No one gets away from these eyes, pretty boy. He was no longer smirking. His eyes held depth of seriousness, and I knew it. I knew that I am in deepest of trouble. Bugam, I take it back. I don't want to follow you. Not like this. I don't wanna follow you in the afterlife, getting death by this crime boss. Thank our year-long gazes were suddenly broken. We leaned back to his seat while my head turned to the source of voice. Seeming already here. OMG, what are you doing? He whispered, yelled at me. Her face was strained, like a mother scolding his child. He even knew how much of trouble I was in. That I can explain. I answered nervously. That guy is dangerous, Taehyung. I know. Wait, how did you know that? My friend Jimin sighed. We have known each other for a while now. It was 3 years ago when Vugam and I met him in a orphanage. We used to visit the orphanage where we grew up until we have old enough to be independent. It was the day he sent his donation for the children and for the orphanage itself. We have met a lot of benefactors. Some would come at the orphanages personally, and others just donate confidently. It was what kept us the others going. When we met Jimin, Bogam and I instantly liked him. He was beautiful, kind, tough. His sassiness could go on miles, but he treated everyone equally. The list goes on until now. I can't seem to get over his beauty. This man has everything yet so down to earth. Bogam and I admired him a lot. We have such high respect for Jimin. He was the one who gave us opportunity to live our dream. Bogam was able to publish his books, and he introduced me to mentor who could guide me with my work. Last night I was finally confident enough to occasion my painting. Jimin kept on convincing me to finally sell it. I gave in. Finally, when he said the money would go to the charity, and the fact that my excitement last night completely shattered when my faith was crushed with this Mafia boss. We need to talk. I returned Jimin a sigh. We walked towards where Mr. Mafia and I sat. I made sure we sat outside of the coffee shop, so if this guy goes does funny business, a lot of people will witness it. Who knows, a concerned citizen might save me, or better yet, a cop. JK Efron, wow, how iconic. Jimin must be an angel. Dear God, I think you forgot to categorize this one. Oh, so Jimin knew this guy, this criminal. Jungkook playfully smirked. Such a small word, wouldn't, don't you think so, brother-in-law? God, my eyes winked like sorrows. JK, get up. We need to talk in private. Jimin ignored the intentional sleep up. Well, then sit down. He continued to sit laughingly while pointing at the two seats right across him. Listen here, Mr. Jian, I am. If you ever hurt the even a single hair, I wouldn't hesitate to break your arm again. I was shocked that Jimin threatened him, but if it's true that Jimin is his brother's husband, then he must be close to him. I frowned at the thought. They didn't sound close. Not when Jimin is actually threatening him for my sake. He sounds serious. Surprisingly, he clenched. Jimin, see, you know, I simply let you win because of my brother Yonggi's sake. Jimin scoffed. Yeah, nice try, Jimin. Had a steady glare on him while Jungkook only smiled in their exchange. I glared at Jimin. I glanced at Jimin. Did he really break his arm? My anxiety tripled at these two. Alright, since you wouldn't budge, we will have to our meeting here with you. I hope for your sake, Jungkook, you wouldn't open your idiotic mouth of yours. His lips lifted upward. The floor is yours, Jim. Well, in this case, the chairs is also. So sit. Jimin went to sit at the empty chair and I followed beside him, not intending to even gauge my skin with him. Our meeting surprisingly went well. We were able to discuss the important detail of the charity event last night. I signed a lot of documents and included. Jimin made sure that I don't have to do anything besides talking and signing the documents. Although I didn't want to talk with Jimin instant, he understood my circumstances now that my best friend is no longer with me. We are particularly attached to the hips. He knew how I depended on him so much. I mean it, JK. I don't care if you are cousin of Yoongi or what, especially now that you are in New York. Jimin warned his cousin-in-law again. We were standing at our spot with Jimin bidding us farewell, but stopped shortly when he threatened Jungkook. Relax, Jim. Say hi to Yoongi Hyung for me, will you? I only watched their exchange beside them. My eyes travel back and forth between them. What do you plan on doing with Tae? Jungkook glanced at me only for a few seconds before shifting his attention back to Jimin. He is a witness, I tensed. I hope Jimin didn't understand what Jungkook meant. Jimin frozen, of course he knew. I stared at the ground, suddenly finding it interesting. But if he knows, wouldn't it be in my favor? He will help me to escape from Jungkook's grasp. Is that why you are here? JK nodded. When I looked up, I noticed JK was already looking at me. You can't help him, Jim. He's mine now. I sighed. I honored my promise to the family. I only came New York because some fool tried to test my patience and steal from me. But remember that I wouldn't dare break it. I have high respect for Uncle Mr. Jian and my father, Mr. Park. I am pretty sure if I even hurt you while hugging right now, Mr. Park and Jian would have my head on the cheapest platter, Korean style, of course. Jimin snorted, clearly restricting his laugh while Jungkook just smiled. I am, on the other hand, still scared. Jungkook, he is my friend and he has been through a lot. Enough. Please, and I mean please, don't hurt him. I held my breath, hearing Jimin's pleading. How did I ever deserve such a friend? He already did so much for me. All right, Jim, for you. Jimin and I exhaled a breath of relief, but that doesn't change the fact that he is now under my watch. I will not hurt him as promised, but that doesn't stop me from doing anything aside from that. Jimin and I looked at each other before he nodded in understanding. He then faced me in full height. I know you already know him. You must be surprised at how the park is concerned to Mafia. Maybe someday I'll let you know. It came to be. Jim grabbed my hand and held it. But he is my family thing. He is youngest cousin and Mr. Park's nephew, and I promise you that he will not hurt you because he promised me that family is important to us and we respect the honor of family. You have my word on that. I stared at the Mafia boss across me. He was still relaxed, but the playful smirk he was always wearing was gone. I was still anxious and not triple anxious like before. ask away, baby tiger. He smirked, but not quite playful like his usual. Somehow it looked like it was forced. I was quiet just because I didn't know what to ask first. There is just so many questions hanging, like the fact that he was related to Parks. Maybe I should have just asked him how to handle him. I mean, considering he already broke his arm before. Too late for that though. Jimin is already left, not for long ago. My train of thoughts stopped when he leaned towards me, elbow propping on the table. You know, you should be grateful to Jimin. I am unable to touch you now. You are lucky we are in their territory. I intend to keep you my promise to them. If I would been in Korea, I have long done something for that sassy mouth of yours. I blushed furiously, but I managed to scowl at him, making sure my distaste was obvious on my face. He said not to hurt you. He smirked mischievously. There is a smug look on his face. I am sure I will only give us both some hidden things. He clenched when I turned away. Same, I couldn't do anything with you here for now though. His fingers brushed my jaw, sliding towards my chin, forcing me to face him. He was now in my personal bubble, and I noticed that he already got up from his seat only to bend down and hover me. Once I drag you back to Korea with me, you will only know pain from so much hidden things. Baby tiger, I would make sure of that. Hey everyone, this is it for today's episode. I hope you will love it. So I'll see you in the next episode. Till then, take care, safe, and please don't forget to tell me your feedback and whatever you feel about the story in the comment section. See you tomorrow. Bye.